Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I'd take another look at the workshop and see what was out there, and a lot of very cool creations. Now the very first creation, which happens to be the LYC SM-80 Bigcrab by LycanThrope. This is actually from last week. It was a one I wanted to catch up on, and then I've got seven more creations to show that are more recent yet than this creation. So there's a lot to see today. At the end of the video, too, I'll just go over real quick. I was hacking and slashing my Creole Combat CV yesterday, and I think I'm going to be happy with it, but I do got to pretty much totally redo the interior. I didn't have much of the interior really set up anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. But anyway, very first creation here. This is again the LYC SM-80 Bigcrab by LycanThrope, and this is a very cool looking CV here. I don't know exactly the specs or anything like that on it, but I'm just kind of admiring the hull design on it. Now this is a module carrier, and it does use LYC modules, I would call them. And on the actual blueprint on the workshop, you'll see links to two different modules for this creation. Now, it's pretty slick how it's set up here. I was looking at this big ring on the back of the ship, and it's more than just cosmetics here. It's actually a module bay kind of on the inside, as well as like a solar panel array going around the ring, which is a really good use of space on this. It actually has a lot of solar panels on this ship. I've been noticing them all over the place, and some really cool block work in here too. But this would be our rear module bay, and a nice looking framework there. I like the color design on it, kind of going with the white, black, and yellows with some occasional texture lights in places of a couple different colors themselves. Little things like this little pole over here with the lighty end on it. That's just neat. Nice little way to use blocks to kind of create interesting looking antennas and things like that. That's definitely thinking outside of the box. I like that. And then on the front, it also has another module bay over here. So you got two different bays. Now this bay could also be used as a standard landing pad, I would assume too, if you didn't have a module placed there at the time. At least you could park a lot of HVs, SVs, small CVs potentially in that area. And then you have it looks like a bridge right above that section. And yeah, this is really cool. Quite a power setup here too, with all those solar panels. Yeah, nice looking hull design for sure. So, I don't know. I guess we'll get inside this ship here and take a look around. I'm going to try to adjust the lighting a little bit. I'm always scared of lighting, but I realize that there's been an update to the game, and a lot of things are a little bit different now. All in the positive sense, which I can't, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know if this is going to work out, though. I'll try it dark. If it's too dark, I'll brighten things up. Right now, obviously, I can't see in front of me, but it looks like the interior is lit up pretty good here. Oh, maybe. Yeah, this is, oh yeah, there we go. Now we got some lights. Nice. So yeah, it looks like as soon as you get inside here, now this is coming in from a module bay, so we've got a couple storage controllers right here. It looks like we have an advanced constructor right in the middle, a small constructor, so, and some more storage controllers on the back side of the room. And, oh, wait a minute. This looks like one of those new elevators. Oh, it's in there. It's in there. I just have to hit the button. Oh, man. I'm going to have to ride the elevator. Hold on. Let me get out of God mode. I like to ride these elevators. That is pretty cool. Keep in mind, if you don't know what's going on here, this is a Reforged Eden part. So you will not see this in the vanilla game, at least as of this time. But I've got a little bit of energy again because the most recent update did fix a couple problems, and some other things took place. It looks like some work's being done on the by the main developers again, so that is good. So anyway, down from the module bay here, yeah, this is wild. So we went up above the module bay to this kind of open room here, very nice looking room. Two elevators going down into it. Obviously, let's just go up this way since I walked up there already. So this gets us right into the bridge. So pretty quick walking through the ship here to get to the main area, at least from the rear module bay. We got a detector in here and a bunch of electronics and computers and a couple passenger seats. Nice looking bridge. Ventilators. I like how this is done. That's interesting. You fit through there too. It looks like it's a little bit of a low ceiling, but no, it works just fine. I like the labels over here too. So we got a free decoration room. 2 free decoration rooms. Okay, so open space for you to put in whatever you want, kind of like unused office space, sort of. That is cool. The room looks nice though. I like the windows on the side. Very cool. And I assume this would be about the same as the other room. Yep, very nice. So a couple just areas you can add stuff, whatever you feel like adding in there. That's the way we came up at. Let's go through this door. And this gets us into our, looks like our main core room over here. And CPU blocks and Wi-Fi over there too. And extra room for more potential upgrade CPU blocks. Nice setup there. Like the again, I like the carpeting. Walking in here, it's clean. It kind of looks, yeah, really neat setup there. So now, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go down, and let's see what's off to the side here. So, oh, we got another furnace room over on this side. So this would be, got a couple refrigerators and a food processor in here. This goes down again. So now we're back to the module bay, foyer area. And it looks like on this side we've got a stairway going to a medical bay, I'm assuming. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, it's all green in here. I love these windows on the side, by the way. That's just cool. And the angled hall work or blocks in between the windows. It's just it's a nice touch there. I don't know where I'm going right now, but we are going somewhere. Let's just follow the pathing around here. And wow, look at this. We've got a big engineering area over here. It looks like you can fit a lot of generators. Looks like currently we've got some littler generators in here, but by the size and shape of this, it kind of looks like we could fit. Here, let me get my light on here a second. It's 3 blocks tall. We could certainly fit some big generators in here if we really wanted to, and several of them. I think maybe 3 going right across there, or other parts. Nice setup though. Again, I like this framework around the room over here. That is really cool. And I just wanted to see if I missed anything in the corner here. Looks like we're got a thruster access point right there. And our ventilator coming in there. Okay, let me turn off the light again here. I'm on foot right now, but this is back to the med bay. Let's go across the center of the ship here. More utility function in this area. Their controller, and this is goes right out to the front module bay. It's just, yeah, that's cool. Just kind of walking out, seeing this. It's neat seeing the shadows of these beams coming across there too. Very cool. Let's go around the other way here a minute. Okay, yeah, so that basically this bay and the front bay just kind of are right next to each other. So really quick access getting in the ship actually. So you can come in either side and you can go right up to the bridge. Number of different ways. Let's go down. Where does this go? Ah, more upgrade areas here. Get my light on a little bit here. So we got our warp drive over here. Looks like there's a little bit of space in here for some other things too. Kind of looks like it's formatted for additional upgrade parts. And we got a shield. We got the smaller size shield right now, but it's got room to put in a standard full size shield as well. And then our gravity generator in here. Like the ladder there. Actually works. Let's just step in here. Probably not too much more to see in this room, but we do have a taxi tank over there too. I'm gonna get back into God mode here a minute. And yeah, Nice setup going on here. Obviously, it's going to have a lot of solar panels too. I'm just curious on what this ship costs, what its storage is. So let's find all that stuff out. Looks good at night here too. Notice the night light has changed a little bit. Like if you get into like the middle of the night, it's actually brighter than it was. I don't know if that's just maybe I just didn't notice it before, but it just seems like things are easier to see at night currently. Which is I think a good thing. It doesn't turn everything into black, basically. So all right, so looking at some specs here, we'll start here, I guess. So size class 3. This isn't actually terribly big on size class at all. 41 forward, 13 strafing, 46 lift, 13 reverse, 7 down. Has a detector. Does not have any weaponry on this build at all. 10-hour and 36-minute build time. Uses a smidgen of estrium and zirconium, but not too much at all. And then your normal CV stuff. Let's see, CPU-wise, it's not breaking the bank here either. So this would be let's see, a basic core and maybe 2 improved cores. I would have to calculate that. Let's see, probably not going to tell me right there. Take a look at some storage on this creation here. So we've got a ammo controller at 184K. Actually, 2 ammo controllers at that. So it's meant to add some guns to it for sure. It just doesn't come stock with them. So you get to pick and choose what guns you want and your CPU and whatnot. So we've got a container controller at 384K and another 2 of those at 384K. And it also has a harvest controller too at 320K. So it's kind of like set up to do a lot of different things. Like you could add some guns, you could add a multi-turret or a minor turret, or just kind of use it for a lot of different things. But it's really not going to break the bank either, which is very cool. Hold on, let me just take a look at its solar. Okay, so it has 35 solar panels in here. I was curious about that as well. So it looks like we've got some small and some large kind of mixed in. It looks like most of them are large solar panels, but there are some small ones as well. Some circuits in here. Yeah, very cool ship. So yeah, kind of a smaller sized module carrier that's really kind of designed to be able to do a lot of upgrades and add some different parts. You could do some harvesting. You could it's got ammo bays. It's got some storage in it, and plus, of course, whatever you get out of the modules that you park in here too. So they can be a whole lot of different things, add-ons to the ship, which is a really cool idea there. Last thing I was just curious about, is there any, I didn't see any, but I was just curious if there's any locations for potential thruster upgrade locations. Almost kind of looks like in this setup over here. This is a cool looking setup, by the way, but it almost looks like you could gut a lot of this out right here and add in a big XL thruster for forward on either side. And if you got, a lot of weight you're moving around, you might want to do that. But yeah, that's cool. I like how that's set up too, because you could do that. At least on the on one of the 2 sides. I don't know if you could pull it off on the front side too, but might not need that there anyway. Yeah, really cool ship here. And definitely not trying to break the bank. So again, this is the LYC SM-80 Bigcrab by LycanThrope. Very nice, very nice. It's just alighting in a second here, and so the next creation, quite a bit smaller, but it's a SV. It's but I wouldn't say it's a small SV. This is the LF-ST-AG Stag by Life Force. Cool looking SV here. Like the color scheme and the shape and everything that's going on here. Oh, it's got a pretty interesting side door there too, almost like a helicopter or Star Wars ship or something like that. I've seen a couple Star Wars ships do that. Is that what this is? No, it doesn't look quite like that either, but There's a particular transport ship I've seen in Star Wars that has side doors like this, but this is not that ship. Oh, look at the yeah, look at the graphics here on the side. Very nice. Like the block work here a lot, and the color scheme. Oh, look at these thrusters in here. That's interesting. There's not actual thrusters there. At least that I can tell, unless they're there's a lift thrust on the inside. Interesting. But this door mechanism here, the way the angled blocks are coming in, and it kind of the door is obviously a rectangle, but the angled blocks kind of create that look, which is really cool. I like that method of having like an overlay block over the big rectangle door. Makes the door look like it's a different shape, which is that's cool. Over here, it kind of looks like this could be a potential turret mount point here, and as well as some of this stuff here. I'm thinking the author. I don't think this is going to break the bank. I'm looking at it, and it doesn't look like it's really hitting too many like guns and things on here, so it's probably going to be affordable. And we got some reverse thrusters here. That's a cool looking setup there. And yeah, just what's going on here, that's interesting. I know there is a lift thruster in here too, so maybe a lot of these thrusters are just kind of like hidden in here. So we've got oh no, look at that, it's got a jet port out the top there. Oh, that's sneaky. That's cool. That's cool. I didn't expect that one. No, it looks like all our thrusters are kind of visible here. So we've got a big one in the middle back and a couple smaller ones right below there. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Down thrust up on top there. Again, it looks like it's running some weapons on here though, so we're got some guns over here. I'm not seeing turrets on here stock, but certainly looks like that's what that location there would be for. And we got our spotlight up front there. Looks like another turret position right down below the nose. And who knows? There's probably more. But yeah, really cool looking design here. Let me adjust the lighting. Let's go take a walk in here a minute. Well, still struggle a little bit with the lighting. Yeah, if you go like past a certain area, it gets brighter again. It's weird, but maybe that's not affecting the interior, although it's well lit in here. So, look at this corridor. As soon as you walk in here, got a lot of function parts around here. A couple armor lockers on one side, storage controller. Looks like a place for potentially a trauma station. Another storage controller right there. Oh, look at the flooring. That's cool. Oh, there's air tanks below there. To kind of like this interesting like walkway above there. That looks really sharp. A couple more storage controllers down there. Oxygen tanks. And a light at the front there and the back. Oh, that's cool. I like that. That's a neat setup. It's kind of like raised up a thin block there over this section here, but it looks really neat the way it's done. I love that color difference between the white floor and the dark around it. And we've got a lot of stuff going on up here. Look at all the LCDs. This is the deployment room back over there. Thruster housing 2. Got a lot of oh yeah, okay, so we got internal thruster access as well. Thruster housing 3, 1. Wow, they're all kind of aligned there. Oh, this one looks like a wow, look at that. A lot of room. You could put in some more thrusters here too, I think, or other parts, but that's cool. And then you can kind of see how that thruster is going out the bottom here, and it's got its jet port on that side. Wow, very cool setup there. Got a nice looking LCDs all the way around, and the texture lights up there too. And we come into the operations centers. Keep in mind this is a SV. This isn't a CV here. Holy smokes! Look at this. Oh, that's neat. Look at this. That's an actual pilot seat there too. I'm sure it looks like it has another one up there, but this is kind of like a more of a rear section pilot seat. And then it talks about all the upgrades, all marked out. Placement of. Oh yeah, very nice. I won't read all of this, but yeah, definitely designed for a lot of upgrades. This interior is sweet though. I like this. Look at it. Just looking at that setup over here, you know, I guess its only main part in there is a pilot seat, but what a display for that pilot seat. That's cool. And then the LCD backing, kind of like a terminal display over there. And we got a bunch of passenger seats. This is where these doors are going to open up from the outside, coming into this center section here, which is really, really cool. Nice, quick way to move around some players or whatnot, land them out to a hot zone. Just LCDs and stuff all over the place. So we got shield housing, shield array parts. I like how everything's labeled up here. Hold on, let me get my light on. I just want to. Okay, so it did talk about removing some of this stuff, and then you can pop in shield parts. It looks like we have some generators up on the ceiling there. Pentaxa tank in the middle of the ceiling. Got our shield. Very cool, very cool. And up into the cockpit area. Alternative color schemes too, of course. Got a Rebel Red, our Alliance Blue, and our Spec Ops. That is very cool. Until Elion fixes cockpit ejection issues, be mindful not to park higher than 10 degree incline. Ah, nice, nice. And that is true. There is and has been issues with SV, HV pilot seats, especially if something's parked on an angle. Sometimes you go to get out and it throws you where it shouldn't, and causes some problems. So that is definitely a known issue. I like the LCD up front here too. Just sitting here a second, see what that looks like. Oh yeah, ground target acquisition. Very cool. Fridges over here as well, some cargo boxes, another passenger seat. Nice looking outcove for that as well. What's back over here? Constructor 1, Constructor 2. So these are upgrade slots for that. Armor locker right in the middle. We got some, oh look at the bedding. Didn't even notice that when I walked up. That's cool. So we got some some legit looking like bedding that you might see in a ship like this. Everything's really, really nice in here. It's a pretty big SV, I gotta say. It's not a small one. Wow. Okay, so yeah, you can get obviously a lot of shield parts in here, and we got our processor house over here too. So that is cool. So obviously you'd want to put in additional CPU parts and things like that to probably expand on that to get all these other upgrade parts in the ship. Yeah, very cool. Nice looking ship here. Let's get the lights back on. Take a look at some specs here. So what do we got going on here? So start with unlock level 20, size class 5. Yeah, it is pretty big for an SV. Yeah, yeah, pretty good size. 35 forward, 20 strafing, 58 lift, 47 reverse, 40 down. Does have one RCS unit in here, 5 hour and 54 minute build time. Uses a smidgen of estrium and zirconium, not very much. Other than that, pretty typical SV resource costs. Running one Gatling gun, 2 laser cannons, 1 detector on here. A lot of fuel tanks, 37 fuel tanks, 8 oxygen tanks in here. CPU wise, wow, yeah, it's pretty light on CPU too. I kind of expected this to be higher on CPU than what it is, but it's only using 33,000, well, about 34,000 CPU out of set at 40,000 right now. I know you can go up to 60,000 if you had a full Core 9 setup. So this is probably around a Core 5 to 6 to 7, somewhere in there on its CPU. Not bad at all. It has a lot of passenger seats, a couple pilot seats, and yeah, very, very nice. So let's take a look at your storage. So we got a deployment box, very nicely labeled over here too. So we got a couple 2K areas there. This is a box. These are more boxes. I like how you can pretty much tell everything that's a box. So your major storage areas would be your harvest bay at 14K, ammunition at 30K. And then other than that, a lot of different boxes, cable weapons, or cabin weapons box there. Deployment arms, 1, 2. Yeah, very nice, very nice. A couple fridges in there too. So again, this is the LFST-AG Stag by Life Force. Very nice ship, very nice SV. Big one too. Alright, so the next creation here, this is out of order on my list. So we're going to do this one next, and then I'll rearrange my list later here. Let me get the lighting back on here. So this one here is the Star Runner Wasteland series by the Script HD. And yeah, this is another interesting looking ship here. This is CV again. Just kind of take a look at the front here, and we've got some asymmetrical features on here. Notice how this side is extending forward, and this side is like a thruster housing over on one side of the ship there. That is pretty cool. It was definitely textured and colored with the other Wasteland series creations by the Script HD. Yeah, I like the block work on here. It has that kind of run-down look on purpose again, which I think all the Wasteland series ones do. Just hence the name Wasteland. Fits really well there, and I do like yeah, all the kind of rusty looking edges and stuff like that. Just noticing on the hull design here, it looks like we do have places for additional thrusters. We got a door over here. It looks like it would be a little rough to get to that door, but that's probably for when you're out in space, a quick access point in and out of the ship. I'm sure there's other ways in and out of the ship as well. We got a couple turrets. It doesn't look like it's real combat heavy. Looks like we got a long range radar on the back side over here. Like that area that it's put in there. A lot of detail going on everywhere here. Some intake pieces there. A detector as well right there. A couple side turrets. Curious what we got going on the bottom side here. Some cool looking block work, kind of some neat thin blocks around, some lift thrusters there. I like this landing gear set up here too. Oh, it's kind of neat how that's done. It doesn't have like a big housing around. It's just kind of a landing gear extended arm here, and then you got that model landing gear. And oh, look at that! Like a little sentry gun down over there. That's sneaky. Yeah, I like how that these rear landing gears sit though, kind of sticking out from the back of the ship there. Looks stable, and I could only guess that this would be a probably a legit XL thruster upgrade, or well, the yeah, and same thing going on over here. It looks like this was heavily stripped down for the sake of CPU to get it cheaper, for you can get into the ship quicker and then upgrade it from there. Which honestly, I mean, I think most people are doing that this day and time. That's a pretty good way to go about things, especially if it's not meant to be a end game cycle ship. So, all right, let's get inside of here and see what makes this tick. Let me adjust the lighting here. I do like the lighting and the coloring on these Wasteland series ships there. Looks neat. It's kind of using some different orange lights, but you never know. You could walk into another room. There's a blue light over here too, and it all fits together well to make a neat looking theme here. And we got some information as soon as you walk in. Try to upgrade as soon as possible. Nice, nice. Oh, look at the LCDs going on over here too. Like some Art Deco thing going on. That's cool. Interesting look there. And it kind of goes with this actual texture light over here as well. And yeah, okay, so this one's got the name on it, and the other side's just got kind of the graphics for it. Very cool. I like that. That's a nice way to decorate the inside of a hangar here. Again, it's got that wasteland look. The crew looks like we got a couple catwalks above here, and a asymmetrically placed door on one side here. And it looks like we get into here, and we are right into like a constructor and storage controller. Or ammo controller, and oh, a little constructor up top there, too. There's a lot of stuff here. So, is this the only way in from the hangar? No, there's a ladder. Oh, look at that, a ladder. Aha! Wow. So, pretty much the whole interior is asymmetrical. Well, yeah, a lot of asymmetrical. I wouldn't say the whole interior, but a lot of it is asymmetrically done here. Here, again, looks like a big slot over here for placing probably some big stuff going on here. Yeah, I see several authors use these framework parts here for like filler blocks when you're going to put in some big parts there. Yeah, I like how this catwalk set up here too. It's just really interesting. The catwalk kind of goes off to one side, but it looks like you can walk around the other side through this door, and there's our main core. Probably a lot of places for CPU blocks and things in the general area. It's like another storage controller over here. Oh, we got this other door. Jeez, where are we? I didn't even know the ship goes out this way. Look at all this stuff. Yeah, just a lot of places to put things, and this gives you access to a lot of the internal parts as well. We got a Wi-Fi over on this side as well. Looks like a lot of thruster access ports and potential places to put upgrades or bigger thrusters or a lot of different things actually. Some fuel tanks in there as well. Wow. And this room over here too, look at that. If these were out, is that 1, 2, 3, is this 5 blocks or 6 blocks? I think 5 blocks. So this would be a potential area for a warp drive if it doesn't have one already. I'm not sure, but it looks like it would be a upgrade room for a warp drive. We got a shield over here. Using the small shield, but it has room to put in the big shield. That's a good idea actually. You could lessen the CPU by not having the big shield in there to start with, but you really kind of want to put that in there if you really wanted to upgrade the shield strength on the ship here. So coming up into the bridge section here, oh, I see how this is working out too. You can actually access those constructors from up top here. Interesting. So we're kind of looking down from where we came in from the other location on the ship there. And it looks like we've got a medical bay, and it looks like all the specialized medical equipment's right in the area here. Right up top, right next to it there. Got our O2 on this side. A couple passenger seats. Cool looking blockwork around the pilot seat. Nice open display or window to fly around in there. I got some unusual things going on here too. Okay, this is that extra access door that we've seen the outside. Oh, and then we got a crew area over here, it looks like too. So we got a fridge and a food processor, a bed, bathroom, and beyond. Just had to throw that in there. No, that's cool. They kind of got everything in here. By the looks of it too, it kind of looks like this is really designed not to break the bank. Like maybe this is a starter even. Could it be? Let's take a look at some specs here. Get the light on a little bit better here. Alright. So what makes you tick? Oops. Star Runner, size class 3. 25 forward, 16 strafing, 49 lift, 16 reverse, 16 down. 6 hour and 58 minute build time. Doesn't use any estrium or zirconium. And pretty low build time for a CV as well. 8 fuel tanks, 3 oxygen tanks. And yeah, this was the stat I was looking for here, the CPU. So yeah, this is set up with a single basic CPU core only stock. So 400,000 CPU. That keeps the cost down. That keeps so you don't need the more rare resources and things like that. And generally allows you to spawn in a creation faster. Again, a huge amount of upgrade potential on the ship, though. A lot of places to put a lot of parts. And other things depending on what you want to do with the ship, how you want to use it, things like that. Just want to take a look at what does it have on here. Stock for its weaponry. So we've got some 6 sentry guns, 2 minigun turrets, and a detector stock. So I'm guessing that this radar back here is the fake one. But obviously a location to put in a long-range radar and Reforged Eden there. And again, more places to put thrusters all over the place and other parts. Yeah, very cool, very cool. So I would kind of consider this more of a starter CV almost. Interesting looking one too. And the asymmetrical features on here are really cool. Kind of unique there. That's an interesting way to do it. So all your reverse thrust is looks like it's right in this general location with slots to add a couple more in the mix there too. All right, well again, this is the Star Runner Wasteland series by the Script HD. Very cool. I get even more lights. All right, so the next creation, I'm going to buzz over to this massive structure over here. This is a POI, and I don't want to give away all the POI, but I do want to admire the design here. This is very unique for sure. This is the Balancing City V1 by Helen Red. And yeah, this is actually a CV. I know it looks a little bit like it could be a base, but this is a CV, and this is a POI. So it's got I'm sure, a big course going on through the inside of it. Again, I don't really want to give away all that because it is meant to shoot it up through the inside and shoot all the bad guys and all that fun stuff. Yeah, really cool design though. It looks a lot like some kind of industrial style space station, especially with these really cool cranes and things that are coming out here. Like the crane would extend on different pivot positions, and even this part here, it kind of looks like this is made to slide out. Oh wow, look at that! There's some hangar doors down in here too. Oh, interesting. This is a pretty big creation, by the way. So I believe this was in the 40s somewhere in size class. So it is pretty big. Oh, it's got solar as well. Look at that, a whole chunk of solar panels there. Like the way they're put on there. It looks like part of the hull for sure. And look at all the framework and the block work and all this stuff going on here. I like this piece too. These whatever it may be, it looks really neat. These like vent pieces that are coming out here. Again, it looks pretty industrial. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Oh, I like this too. This looks like some almost like shock absorbers, like a big machine up here. The whole thing kind of looks like a big machine. Interesting glass window display here too. I like that. Kind of the slit there. There's actual heavy glass behind there, but you got these front rows of thin blocks in front of that. That's a cool look. This big section here. Oh, look at that. This certainly looks like a hinge. Again, yeah. Just the way this is set up, it looks like a lot of parts would fold out or move. Now, of course, we all dream that if we could ever do something like that in Empyrion, make these work for real, that would be amazing. But yeah, this whole thing looks like this is a big piece that would, it's got like a hinge joint and it would fold out to like almost like a big landing pad. Or that's, yeah, a really cool idea there. And you got the center structure, and this also has a big ring, a little bit like the first ship we looked at today, but really, really big ring set up here. This almost, to me, looks like maybe, I say industrial, but maybe this is more of a constructor. Like maybe this is intended to build space stations or something in space. And kind of, I'm starting to get that vibe with it, which is, that's really neat. And like all these things are like, well, that one's just kind of there, but yeah, just interesting how these big plates are put around here, and these hinges. That's a really cool idea. Definitely like that. And we do have some POI guns on here, so it looks like you'd have to shoot up a couple guns before entering the POI. Now, I don't want to give away the POI, but I will walk through part of it just to get an idea of what's going on the inside here. Let me adjust the lighting as well. That's cool. So we got some doors, and all these guys are going to shoot at you. Again, I don't want to reveal anything too much. I just want to take a look at it a little bit. So I'm not going to try to run the course. Yeah. And this thing is big, too. So, I mean, there is a lot of... If I fly through the wall, I'm sure there's more here and there. A lot of stuff to go through. Oh, that's cool. I hope this is... I hope the Reforged Eden developers know about this, so maybe they can add it, as well as the Elion. So they could maybe add this to the game as well. That'd be cool. When it comes down to POIs and stuff, this looks like it would be a really fun one to run. And it looks like there's going to be a lot of stuff on the interior too. Again, it's a big creation. Really, really sharp and detailed too. It looks pretty good at dusk too, I gotta say. Some texture lights here and there, but yeah, I would say this, I mean, it's called Balancing City V1. So I don't exactly know what that name means, but to me, it just looks like a big unit that you would send out to do some space construction, potentially. Ow, what a design here. I know I didn't fly through the inside. I'm not going to look at storage or anything like that, or we can look at some general specs here, though. Let's see. So, yeah, size class 41. Again, a lot of this, it's a POI, so you know, at least this version you're not going to be using for gameplay. But it's really cool that, I mean, it's a lot of work making a POI, testing the POIs. Often they probably won't get a huge amount of subs because very few people probably are going to create their own scenarios to put in POIs with and stuff like that. But it's really cool. I wish more people would do it. In the future, I may try to do another POI myself and do it as a video series, just to throw that out there on how it's done and the steps needed to build a POI and test it in game. I think that would be kind of a neat thing to do at some point in time, because I mean, honestly, I even kind of forget on the whole scenario part. I'll probably have to hit up another author again to see if they got a test scenario again, updated one, even to do that. So that'd be kind of a fun project, though. Very cool design, though. Again, yeah, just wild sci-fi look here going on. And it definitely looks like it would just do stuff. A lot of moving parts there. So again, this is the Balancing City V1 by Helen Red. Very, very cool. Alright, so with that, let's see, we looked at that one, that one, that one. Let's look at this, this trading ship. Now, this one here, I didn't exactly know how I should display it. This one, to be properly used in game, well, let's talk about the name here. First, this is the UST Rockford by Noob. And it's a really cool trade ship vessel meant to be on servers. And it requires a server mod. Now, I'm not running a server right here, so I didn't really want to try with the mod. But that changes some aspects of how the buying and selling goes on. And then also even in the Steam Workshop description, it gives you a link to that mod to add to the server to have this properly work, as well as some it tells you how to manipulate some of the values as well in the actual scripting of that mod, so you can change some things around. It does explain all that too, which is again very very cool. Um, Love to see all this stuff for the game here. And this is a neat looking ship, I gotta say too. I like these. I like these bins here with the really cool looking LCD over that, and the way they're hanging with the block work and everything around it. That is cool. Each one of these could be like different kinds of things, I guess. To see how this all works out here. But yeah, let's take a look at the ship as a whole here. So this is yeah, public trade ship. So yeah, probably not necessarily a player ship, but something that gets put on a server. Kind of serves as a, yeah, exactly what it says, a public trade ship. So you can trade one product with another, and the background work would handle those transactions basically. Oh, look at that. We got a lot of stuff going on the inside too. A lot of parking for some SVs over here. Another little bigger one on the back there. I like how that's set up too. It's kind of like a barge sort of. I like this too. Nice looking name logo tag there. United Space Trading. Yeah, very cool. I mean, everything looks great on it too. I like this. It's a little unusual, but I love it. This weird, or I wouldn't say weird, but really cool looking thruster housing setup here with like different metal plates and things around. There's some more of that going on in various places of the ship too. Again, the cargo rack on either side, very cool. And it's got some landing gear, so it looks like it could like park on the wall of something, which is really interesting as well. Let's get inside of here a little bit. I'm going to adjust the lighting a bit. And see how this turns out. So we got a big blast door set up over here too. Just curious how this works. There's probably a trigger somewhere or some sensor or something that does that. Maybe I should walk in there first. But I just want to see where they extend out to. Obviously they would all extend out. Oh, so it's kind of like a extend out landing pad on the back side, and then you've got force fields, or actually you got these ramp doors over there that would keep the inside airtight. Oh, that's really cool. I'm sure there's a switch or a lever or a sensor or something that operates those, but a nice touch. So on the inside here, oh wow, this looks great. I like that. The name up there again. There's detail everywhere here. So we got some CPU blocks up on the back area ceiling here. That's really cool. Look at that thruster in there, and it's kind of surrounded by the armored glass and kind of displaying part of the thruster. That's a neat way. A lot of the parts can look really good, and if you can display them in the game, you can just add more detail to your creations. I definitely like to see it done like this, as opposed to just burying parts. Now, of course, it depends on the size of the creation, and often you do have to bury parts, especially on something small. But yeah, when you can do this kind of thing, that looks sharp. I mean, really cool looking curvy glass work around here. And this also serves as protection too, blast protection. So in case somehow this gets blown up, it won't blow up your interior space. It would damage the glass around it, but it shouldn't breach it. And we got solar in here too. Look at that. This whole roof is solar, and this almost kind of looks like some kind of... Oh, that's interesting. So like these hanging pieces down over here using that particular model solar panel. And then we've got like our whole shopping district over here. Got seats over here. Oh, look at this. Look at all these LCDs too. Thank you and have a nice day. Oh, that is so cool. I would like to see how this actually works. I don't We'll see if this ends up on some of these other servers that I play on, like the Anvil server. That would be kind of cool to have a trade hub like this. So platinum. And yeah, and I do believe you can manipulate prices with the scripting and everything like that. And again, the Steam Workshop post does talk about that and give you links to get this mod and everything like that too. Upper deck, cores, exact. Oh yeah, this is neat. It's a real flying ship that really works, and it's a trade hub. Oh, look at this front walkway over here. Oh, that's cool. Bathrooms over the side there. Looks like we've got. I was gonna say a warp drive, but I was just like, that's no warp drive. That's some crazy gooey plant spin things. Wow, that is wild. What's on the other side? Oh, okay. Oh, this dude's, yeah, these people are checking this out too. They're like, what in the heck is that? Kind of looks like an upgrade slot for sure. Like maybe you could dump in another generator here. I'm sure you could, just like we've seen in the back part of the ship. But hey, that's wild. Hey, first just seeing the colors, I was like, oh, look at that. It's warp drive, and no, it's not. What is in here? There's, yeah, a lot of side rooms and stuff too. Okay, so this looks like, oh, it's got the that scripting stuff right on the inside here in LCDs as well. Oh, that's wild. Good way to do it again. I mean, yeah, you can put a lot of real information on LCDs inside of Creation in this game. I mean, if you really wanted to put out a game manual, you could put it inside of Creation. That you can just access. In fact, that gives me an idea. There's a lot of, I got this little text file on the side with all these weird things, like if I'm gonna convert a hull from one material to another. I kind of reference that because usually I forget all the commands in between doing it. I don't do it that often. And I'm kind of wondering now if I shouldn't just make like some creation that has a bunch of LCDs with instructions on it on how to do everything. So if you're in game and you're like, oh, I can't remember this, or I don't want to look it all up and this and that, you can just reference like all these different commands and console commands and things like that right from within a creation that you could spawn in really quickly. That would be a nice little, like, I don't know, handbook or something for builders, quicker to access than going out to the internet or searching around. Yeah, it would be a neat idea. Just thought of that just looking at this, by the way. So anyway, yeah, this is neat. This is really neat. I know I'm not seeing everything here, and yeah, a lot of scripting stuff in here. In fact, all these areas. Look at that. I don't know how it works yet. That's my bad. I don't know this whole setup here. Let's go to this other floor here, though. So this has got what looks like two main district floors here for shopping. Oh, and there's the warp drive. So we do have a real warp drive in here as well. And more stairways going off that way. I don't know if I'm seeing everything. Again, this is really wild. I like this too. I just had to take a look at that. So that's those countertops, but there's two next to each other with LCD over it. That looks neat. Kind of looks like I'm walking through an appliance store and there'd be a bunch of like cell phones on display here or something. Like teleporter, gotta have that. Scrambles your brain. Captain Kirk would agree. So, yeah. So, yeah, little consoles over there. Man, this is cool. Talk about adding some life to the game here. I mean, going into trade hubs like this would be more akin to what you might come across in like Star Citizen or something. Oh yeah, we've got entrance welcome shoppers. I love just the interior layout here too. It's really, really cool. Looks like we've got I didn't even see this back section here, but yeah, we have some ramps that get you in from the lower part of the ship. Oh, look how this thing sits on the ground too. It's got this big framework, almost like a building, that comes down here in conjunction with the landing gear, and all these big big crazies down here, piping or material processing vents. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so that warp drive is actually visible right from the front of the ship. Yeah, very cool. I know I missed some areas here. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna fly up into this room here. I probably could have taken the staircase from somewhere. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we've got a pilot seat facing this direction. This should be. No, this is the front of the ship. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Just wanted to see how the flow went. Oh yeah. So this is all up on this top area here. Sell your goods here. Put your items in the box to sell, payment in platinum cards. I'd have to research a little bit on how this whole trading thing works, but it sounds really cool. It looks really cool too for this build that handles that for like server player trades and stuff. Really slick idea here. So again, this is the UST Rockford by Noob. Really, really cool. Really cool. Very innovative. I don't think I've seen a creation quite like this one either, especially with the whole mod or scripting setup that it uses, and it's more of a server-based thing too. So that's just wild. So the next creation here is another one by the author that rarely sleeps here. This is the Star Flare by Ente. I'm sorry. And this is a pretty aerodynamic, sexy-looking CV here, I gotta say. Look at this. I like the general color scheme going on here too. But yeah, a lot of sharp angles, really cool design between like using the thin blocks over the top of the hull with side texture lights. And we got some like darker grays and lighter grays, whites. Yeah, just everything looks good together. It's a nice color setup and really cool block work. Really cool block work. Wow. Just a lot of details to see here. It's sneaking on a lot of turrets here too. Looks like we got quite a barrage of retractable turrets in the hull here. Wild looking, aggressive looking bridge here. I like that. This 22.5 sharp angle here with the top and bottom. I like this. Like some of the stuff like going over the glass there. Well, this is actually armored glass right in that section, and then this is your other type of glass, and obviously found a nice little quick entry into the bridge here. Very useful for gameplay. Looks like it's supporting big thrusters, at least in some locations. And it looks like it's kind of set up for some upgrades too here. We could dump another big XL thruster for forward over in that location. Maybe in this location as well. Yeah, it kind of looks like you could, yeah, definitely. Didn't mean to like jump in the interior quite yet, but it kind of certainly looked like it was another thruster belongs there, and that is the case. Take a look at the bottom here too. Yeah, nice looking setup over here. Kind of like all these thin blocks going over here, kind of making these 45-degree angle patterns. Very Art Deco like too. Their patterns are, yeah, just interesting to look at. There's not like a uniformity necessarily to them, but they all fit together. So they all kind of share doing that angle and that general look. But it kind of wraps up around a lot of parts of the hull, doing that. And we got some walkways getting into it, like right above the landing gear setup. Oh, that's pretty interesting arrangement there. Cool looking rear landing gear, kind of a double setup here. Got some pipes and hydraulics and stuff running there. And this back door here too. This is pretty wild. So we're parked. So maybe this auto sense, maybe it's running a control based off the landing gear, and it opens up this door in this manner, which is really cool. I like how this ramp comes in because it has to raise you up quite a distance before you can get into the hangar area here. And I like how everything is angled with that. And there's a door up top here too. Oh, so it kind of lets you fly in this way as well as drive things in this way to get to the same place. That's cool. It's a nice way to do it. Look at this crazy thruster housing in back here. Oh, it looks like a thruster housing. Looks like it's a thruster actually. Just want to see what's going on in here. Yeah, oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, you could put real thrusters in there too. So that's just kind of cosmetic there on how that looks, but that looks really neat. Yeah, very cool looking thruster housing. The whole thing. Glass work coming down through the top of the ship here. Oh yeah, wild. I'll have to, at some point here, let me get his guns. Well, nah. We'll get his guns out later. I wanted to get inside here a minute. So let me adjust the light. It looks great in daytime too, by the way. But let me just go to this nighttime thing here a little bit. See what kind of aesthetics we're going to see. Yeah, really sharp looking hangar area. Loads of detail. Looks like we've got all kinds of rooms for upgrades. This thing looks like it's really ready for a lot of upgrades. I like that balcony kind of going across the top of the hangar here too. And just, but what's really, what I haven't seen really done quite like this before is this, just the way you get in the ship via the hangars, the hangar doors assembly. This is really wild. I dig this. It's got this big open area that opens up there, and everything's at an angle, and allows for different kinds of creations to come in easily. Or it'd be a lot probably easier to fly a SV in through this top bay as opposed to like coming down to the ground and coming up the other way. But you need it for the HVs and stuff. So yeah, very cool setup there. A lot of detail going on here. I like all the texture work going on the hangar floor too. That looks really neat. The white strips on the side and with the more blacks in the middle area there. We got our Pentaxa tank right there, and that's kind of right in front of a glassed off section for the shield. We got some big side windows over here too. Oh man, kind of looks like this is set up for some serious parts here. Let me go upward. Let me find I'm worried about getting lost here. I'll look at that thruster going off the side. Okay, so this is a thruster room here. We kind of seen that a little bit from before. Where does this door go? Oh, it goes somewhere, doesn't it? Ah, looks like we got some medium shield parts over here, or at least in that location. Small shield parts here. Another like thruster access, another thruster install point, several. In fact, it looks like you can get rid of these large thrusters and put it in XLs over here. Kind of like you see on the other side of the room. That's a neat idea too. Another installed medium, or a installed medium shield part over here. Like the ladder going up to this section here. There's just going to be so much to see in here. So these big rooms here, yeah, these certainly look like they are for big shield parts. And I'm seeing some LCDs in here too. So, you know what I'm wondering is, let's get over to main and see if it has, upgrade marker. I've seen this author do this before. A really slick idea. That's what the LCDs are for. So it'll tell you what kind of parts you, what you can put in here. So shield charger arrays. 3 of them on this side. I imagine it's probably the same on the other side, which would be another, bring that up to 6. Plus back over here we've got, looks like a smaller, probably a medium size capacitor bank. Wow. Yeah, that's cool. Very cool setup here. Looks great. You know, it just really looks really pro again. But we come to expect it from some authors here. I like this. It kind of has that shopping mall kind of appearance here. Like this is the escalator going up to some fancy shopping mall somewhere. Very cool. Okay, so let's see. Did we go in here? No, we didn't. Oh, look at that wood grain floor on the ground here. And there's our shielded warp drives right behind there. And it actually looks like it has the better style warp drive as well. The 60 light year 1 stock at least. There's better than that though in Reforged Eden, but it's still nice to have. So I'm just kind of touring some crew rooms here. I like the styling of this too. Everything is well detailed, cool looking color scheme here. I like having this wood in the mix here too. It's just if it just had like a white floor or something like that, it would still look good. But that just gives it that contrast appearance there, which just kind of adds a little bit more to it, I think. Is this where I came in from? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to get so lost. But, oh yeah, it is. Let's go up. See where this leads us. Oh, wow. Look at this. So we got, geez, man, this thing is really set up for some serious thrusters and shields and things. A lot of shield upgrade locations on this ship. Where do we go now? What is this? Oh wow, what is going on here? So this is going, is this out the front of the ship? It is. Oh, this is obviously a place to put stuff, and it kind of looks like you could, well, I first thought was you could put in launchers here, but I don't think you could get away with that, except for maybe the center top one. I don't know. It's cool. I'm just not sure what this is. What would you put here? Well, we've already got our warp drive and stuff, and that's kind of back in the ship here. I'm sure there's a reason. I just don't yet know what it is, and maybe we'll discover that by looking at some other things. Oh, yeah, that's wild. It's wild. How did I even get in here? Ah, right there. Wow. Yeah, that ship is pretty big. I mean, it looked pretty big, but yeah, once you get on the inside, it's bigger yet. It's wild. So where am I now? Another crew quarter area. Okay. And restrooms. Oh wow. Yeah, pretty much a full looking fancy bathroom setup over here. Got our toilets, marble wall, well, like stone tile, and yeah, very cool, very cool. You mix all that in with a high-tech looking spaceship too. We got our captain's quarters right over here. Yeah, nice setup here. I like the window on the side here. Looks like everything you'd want. And a captain's room. Again, I love the ceiling. I might have been in some of these rooms already. All right, so let's try to. I know there's a big elevator somewhere too. I think it was coming off from where I first came in at. That I have not been up and down yet. And there's other places too. Yeah, we've been in. Yeah, that's upgrade thruster room. Let's go up one of these elevators here. Oh, we got internal elevator signs here too. So we're on 2, and we can go down to the medic engineering and ground exit here. It's behind you. Oh yeah. Jeez. Yeah, another way into that, or the way into the big shield upgrade room. Wow, look at all this. Like fuel storage area. I like how that's done. It feels pretty realistic too. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's neat. Like the pipe on the ceiling there too, and the roundy hallway connectors there. Oh man, so I went in the elevator, got lost again. So over here, did find a medical bay though. They did say it was down here, so that is cool. Yeah, full medical bay. Looks like we got a lot of specialized equipment there. And this would be the elevator. So, okay, let's go up to 3. Here's 3. I like how that's done. It's highlighted on each one of these. So, each one of these signs had to be manipulated a little bit before they were placed in the elevator, too. Or somewhere around the elevator. I think I've been here already, too. It's just the elevator was another... No, I haven't. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So we got a secure bridge back over here, it looks like. I know there's a first-person one we can see from the outside, but we got a secure one, and that's where the main core is. Looks like our CPU blocks, and one impressive-looking LCD display up here. Look at the line work matching the block work. Very sharp too. I mean, yeah, you look right up at that. That is tight. Oh, that is really neat. That is one of the coolest looking like displays. Of course, a feature I would love for this game to have is to be able to actually put like a camera on your ship and have it project onto a screen, so you could actually sit in here and see outside flying around. That would be a really cool feature. I don't know if I'll ever see that or not, but that would be a very cool thing. But that looks great. Custom LCD just to fit this particular really cool block work area. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, there's a lot to see in here. And looks like we got CPU block room over here. Probably more than one, I bet. I would imagine this would want a lot of CPU if you really start popping in all the big shield pieces and whatnot. One thing I haven't quite seen yet, though, and I would kind of expect this ship to have it, maybe in one of these locations I just missed. I was looking for a location for a fusion reactor. Oh, been there. Okay, so let's get back to... Wow, there's just so much to see in these. Look at this. Oh, constructors over here. Look at this this balcony here. Kind of in the middle. The hall around it. Oh yeah, it's cool. Glass up above. Yeah, that's the floor we have not seen yet. Teleporter position right over here. It's a nice idea though. What Ente's doing with trying to give you part locations. It's much more descriptive than putting, you know, how I would typically do it is just use a decal of a T. But this is so much better and more informative than that. So very nice, very nice. Constructor location there. Wow, and this is all kind of overlooking that that hangar stretch there. We got a rear gravity generator right over here. Sure, it has one towards the front of the ship as well. And just everywhere, just balconies and balconies on top of balconies, and it's a wild ship. A lot of work in this. A lot of work, a lot of detail, a lot of LCD placements. And yeah, it looks like we finally made it up to the bridge. Again, I'm probably missed some rooms in here. Pretty sure I did. Oh, and this kind of overlooks that down there, too. So much to see. And it looks like we've got our upgrade information. Nice looking LCD here, too. And a lot of stuff. Looks like up to 20 additional turrets. And, oh, 2 fusion reactors. Okay. F, generator rooms. I must have not made it that way. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Cool looking bridge here too. Look at that. Oh wow. This LCD just down over here to, again, kind of match the polygon work around it. Just as a decoration in front of the pilot seat and passenger seats. Well, actually, these are pilot seats too. Huh. They all can be, so it doesn't really matter. And some utility up in this area as well. And quick access into the bridge. Yeah, this thing looks like it's just doing everything right. I mean, it really is. Oh yeah, look at this. Even on the outside, it tells you where the turret positions are via LCDs. I mean, just placing all these LCDs and aligning them, that's a lot of work in itself. The interface hasn't been terribly wonderful for doing that kind of thing, so it's a little, takes time, just takes time. It can do it, but it's just, yeah, it takes a while. So let's look at some numbers on here. So to start with, we are size class 10. So yeah, the size class is right in the ballpark here. I don't think there's too many servers out there that would frown on 10. I mean, there's some, but not too bad at all. 40 forward, 20 strafing, 22 lift, 22 reverse, 23 down, 22 hour and 50-minute build time. Just taking a look at it. Some of its stuff does need some Xeno in the mix here. And it does have crew members as well. And of course it's going to be needing some Estrum and Zecosium. This is definitely kind of more of an endgame ship, especially with the huge amount of upgrade parts and shielding and things it can do. It has a respectable amount of weapons on it to start with. Obviously you can add a lot more to that as well. And 16 fuel tanks, 8 oxygen tanks. And this part's great right here though, and this is why you got so many upgrade slots, is that it is a Core 9 build, so 2.1 million CPU. Don't need any quantum auxiliary cores to get this rolling right off the gates. It has crew members, but you don't technically need those. I don't know if it would demand that you have the crew members before you spawn the ship though. That's the only thing there, and it doesn't seem like those crew members are actually bringing the CPU up past 2.1 million. And long range radar on here too. 2 artillery cannons in the mix. Let's take a look at your storage. So, okay, we got a recycle in 640K, products 1 and 2, both 640s, materials 1 and 2, both 640s. Then we got 2 ammo bays at 320K, and then we got this other dump over here at 640K. Like how everything's labeled here, don't just remove the guesswork out of the sizes here. So that is really cool. So we're looking at what, 6 640s, 2 320s. Yeah, nicely labeled, colored, coordinated, everything. Very nice, very nice. So again, the author that rarely sleeps here, Ente, has made another really nice ship here. This again is the Star Flare Reforged Eden by Ente. Very cool ship. I never did get out all the turrets either. Let's just open that up. So you can see all the retractables stick out from everywhere. Yeah, that's cool. I like these embedded positions here. And just that whole option that I turned on here to show you where all the part placements are. That is really nicely done. Very innovative idea there. A lot of work, but yeah, really cool when it all comes to fruition that way. Yeah, very nice, very nice. All right, so we got 2 more creations left. They're both smaller, so we've been through the biggest ones here. So the next one here, this is the X3 Exterminator. It's spelled a little bit different. It starts with an X, and then it's like Terminator, by Artemis Rogue. And yeah, look at, for some reason, I don't know why, but did I look at this one in the past? I thought it was pretty fresh on the workshop, or maybe it's a different variation of it, but I just remember looking at a ship here and it had this kind of thing going on, and it was kind of set up to put in a big CV drill on the front here. But yeah, this is a different version. So this one's got quite a few sentry guns around the area. I'm wondering if that's a discovery where the AI will target those, and these are, maybe these can take down drones and stuff like that. But maybe that's just kind of like, shoot me here kind of thing for the AI, potentially. I'm not sure. That could be something I just don't know about. I don't use these sentry guns too often on builds. But yeah, there's a lot of them on here. Kind of wondering what kind of damage they're doing. I know Artemis Rogue typically does a lot of testing and play testing and battle testing and research and development into combat-oriented CVs a lot. And I'm kind of wondering if this was a newer discovery, that maybe these things are actually beneficial for CV combat. Now, it's a pretty small CV for sure, too. I mean, it's got a couple of artillery guns back over here. Looks like a couple of these laser turrets, I do believe. Yeah, laser turrets there, but a lot of sentry guns. That is just an unusual setup there. So yeah, very nice looking ship though. Well detailed. I like the color arrangement on here. Cool looking wing design. Again, it's maybe it's just some tech I'm not aware of here, but yeah, a lot of sentry guns, which is unusual to see on what I would presume is well, maybe it's not a. It's kind of a combat-oriented ship, right? Usually, when you get artillery launchers, it means usually you're planning on shooting something, and not drones. I like the color scheme on the hangar bay door on the back here as well. And we got a bridge over here. Looks like an elevator gets into there, and glass pretty much all the way around you. Quick access in the outside of the ship. And all right, well, here, let me adjust the lighting here. We will take a look on the inside. So a small hangar bay, something for maybe just to get around kind of craft or of some origin here. A lot of utility functions as soon as you get in. We got a CPU block, shower, full medical bay area, refrigerator, detector. It's like a small shield part, a smaller CV shield. Yeah, even toilet over there. Controller, armor locker, O2, constructor on the inside here. Bentaxi tank, yeah, a lot of stuff in here. And it looks like, yeah, just right to the point too. Like you hop in, you park your vehicle, whatever is meant to go in here. Something pretty small. You can't have something too big, but yeah, you can fit a number of HVs and SVs in here. And then right up to the pilot area here with a quick way out as well. Yeah, very much to the point. Ken, I think this is a modification of a previous creation that I looked at from the same author, because I definitely remember this front end layout and these particular units here. But I think at that time it was really set up to put in a big drill up here. So interesting. I like the LCD work on the sides here too. Got some spotlights on the side there. Texture lights in various places. Very nice. So let me get the light back on a little bit here, and we'll take a look at some specs here. So, all right. So I guess we're looking at CPU first. Looks like we're just running a basic CPU core. So it's pretty interesting to have a ship in this CPU cost range that actually is running a couple artillery launchers on it. That is pretty interesting. I don't know if I've seen that done before on this cost of a stock ship at least. So 46 forward, 15 strafing, 30 lift, 30 reverse, 30 down. Unlock level 20, size class 1. A little bit below that technically. 3 hour and 13 minute build time. That's for a CV. running artillery launchers. That is pretty inexpensive, I gotta say. A little bit of estrium and zirconium. Not as much as I might have thought. Wow, this is a pretty inexpensive starter combat CV. I'm guessing. A lot of these sentry guns on here. Looks like there's 12 there. Brings up to 20 plus another 4. So yeah, 24. Those 2 laser turrets, 2 artillery cannons, and a detector. 1 fuel tank, 1 oxygen tank. Now let's take a look at the storage on here. We got, it's got a 320. Okay, so maybe this is intended again to do the CV mining. And then you could shoot enemy capital ships with your artillery cannons at the same time. That's cool. So we got not a big amount of ammo on here. So about 20k ammo. Again, the sentry guns aren't gonna really need much weight at all for ammo. It would really be just about the artillery launchers. Yeah, and a harvest base. So I do believe this is still intended to do CV mining, kind of maybe with that big mechanical drill that was added in Reforged Eden for CVs to use. And these pieces here were not decoration. They were actually kind of meant to hold the ship back and have that big drill fit in here and keep it so it works better, essentially. So it lines up a little bit better and doesn't you don't get stuck up into things and things like that. So I mean, there's actually a purpose for this besides just looks. So anyway, again, very cool. Looks interesting. Looks like I might need to learn something again about sentry guns. Or maybe there's a discovery made that they could be fairly effective in certain scenarios. And again, I know this author builds a lot of combat-oriented CVs, so that's why I kind of look at a lot of these as more of a combat focus. So again, very cool. This is the X3 Exterminator by Artemis Rogue. Very, very cool. So the last creation today, this was in new releases today. This is the UNC S-103 Heavy Hornet by Jarvis 1563. So another SV here. Really cool looking SV design. I love the side thruster housings there. Definitely has that aerodynamic look to it. Cool color scheme too. So kind of your dark gray and this red with some yellow and orange accents on some of these turrets and things like that. And deco pieces here. Yeah, nice looking bridge area. Looks like we got a laser turret on the bottom there. A couple of Gatling guns, kind of the inner wing area. Strafing thrust. Looks like some big lift thrust there. Kind of like the landing gear setup. Looks nice and stable here. Cool looking wing design in back. Got another laser turret there as well. Forward thrust here. Interesting with the colors too. There's some blue in there too. Look at that. And the red. Oh, we've seen the red other places, but yeah, like the blue and the orange and the yellow. Very interesting. So reverse thrusters on the inside over here as well. Yeah, nice looking shape and hull design. Definitely like the wing setup and the format. Looks like it would be some type of attack SV, maybe. I don't know. Well, it's got some fixed weapons, not a lot though. Mainly some laser cannons. I'd say probably mostly dealing with the drones or some other things. Not necessarily like a shielded POI buster kind of thing. Very cool. Now let's adjust the lighting here a little bit here, and we'll see what's going on the interior. Oh yeah, nice looking setup here. Oh yeah, look at that. So we got a warp drive right as you walk in, kind of above the area. I like the setup there, holding that in place. And And looks like we got a couple controllers right on the side here. I'll take a look at those in a little bit there. CPU blocks on the side, our main CPU core, passenger seats with a fridge conveniently between the two of them. That's very nice. Taxi tank up on the ceiling as well. And another passenger seat right over here. Constructor as well. Looks like we got a couple of storage boxes there, and then right into the pilot seat. Just curious what our view looks like from here. Oh yeah, okay, so it's using the pilot seat, so it puts your head up a little bit there, so you got a nice, good, clear view out the front of the ship. That's kind of neat. You can do that. Yeah, there's two different SV pilot seats, if you didn't know, and one will put the player head at this level, and the other will put it at one block below. So it depends on, you know, the situation. So you can actually run like 2 blocks in front of you like that and still be able to see up and over that on an SV. So just one of those interesting things to know on SVs or whatnot. I didn't know that until about a year and a half ago myself. But then I started realizing that one of those two SV pilot seats was basically the big difference was where your head position was at when you're sitting in it. Yeah, very nice, very nice. SV. Oh yeah, looks like it just does just all kind of an all-rounder SV to yeah, do whatever you're gonna do here. Bring some people with you, and utility function for most things. Let's take a look at some numbers here. So start with, we are unlocked level 20, size class 2, 38 forward, 15 strafing, 66 lift, 38 reverse, 32 down, 4 hour and 8 minute build time. It is running 4 laser cannons, 2 Gatling guns, and a detector, 10 fuel tanks, 6 oxygen tanks. CPU wise, this was something I was curious about. Now one thing I didn't check is whether this was for vanilla or Reforged Eden. It is very possible this is a vanilla build. I didn't see any Reforged Eden specific parts on here, shield parts, things like that. It's got a detector instead of long range radar. So I would not doubt that this CPU on here is completely compliant for vanilla, and it's really close to being compliant in Reforged Eden as well. Looks like it would need maybe another CPU block thrown in here somewhere, whether that be like an improved or something like that, and then it would get the CPU up. And obviously if it was a Core 9 in Reforged Eden, it would go up to 60,000. So it's, yeah, definitely not a bad thing at all. And it's probably my bad that this is probably should have been displayed in vanilla and not Reforged Eden. But I think we get the idea though. Let's look at the storage on here as well. So let's get to the heavy Hornet. We got an ammo controller at 3K. Looks like a couple of cargo boxes there. We got a main controller at also 3K. So looks like 3K ammo, 3K standard, and a couple boxes on the side, and then your normal stuff there. Yeah, nice looking SV. Definitely like it. Nice, good. Looks like a good all-rounder kind of SV. And I'm guessing, maybe I'm incorrect on this, but I'm guessing for vanilla. It might have not said, and but yeah, a lot of these creations are Reforged Eden, so I've been kind of displaying most of them in Reforged Eden anyway. But I don't believe it would have any CPU problems coming into vanilla the way it's set up. So yeah, very cool. Again, this is the UNC S-103 Heavy Hornet by Jarvis 1563. All right, so very last thing I just wanted to just update. I almost thought about doing another video for this, but I don't really have time for that today. Let me just fly a little bit over on the map here if I can head the right direction. Yeah, okay, so I should have some things over here. Okay, so on the end of the last video, I was really I had a problem, and I asked a question about this particular work in progress Creole combat CV, and I didn't have the room to fit all the parts I wanted to in it, including like a fusion reactor, a couple heavy shield parts or large shield parts, plus all the mediums and everything like that. And I came out to two different choices or options on how to rectify it. One would be to cut and stretch and make the ship a little bit bigger so I could accommodate all the parts I wanted to put in it. And the other would be to just not run the high tier shield parts in the fusion reactor. So basically no large shield parts, no fusion reactor, just run the mediums, the smalls. Either way could have worked. But yeah, in comments it was more people would rather see me make it the way it was supposed to have been than to kind of fudge it at the last minute and have it not really do what it was supposed to do in the first place, be more of a heavy combat styled CV with a big shield. So this is the first version. This is where I was at when I showed it last time. And you can kind of look at the thickness of it. The big problem I had, I just could not fit everything I needed to fit inside of this area, and it was awkward and weird. So I did a lot of slicing and dicing on this. Lighting's a little weird right now here. Let's go more to a dusk environment and try to be cool here. So although they look very close, and I was kind of happy about that, this one here is wider and it's longer, and it's got just more room on the inside. I did a number of cuts and pastes and things like that, and this whole chunk here is 2 blocks wider than it was before. These front arms were moved out another block and forward another block. Another chunk back here was moved back 3 blocks and extended out a block this way. And some other parts were sliced and diced as well. But overall, it looks extremely similar to the first version, but it's just a little bit wider and bigger than the first one. So I was pretty happy that actually worked out fairly well. There's some different cosmetics on here. I don't know if I'm going to keep this turret here or not, but this area was all kind of stretched out. If you look at the other one, it didn't have that space over here. And there's some other changes made, a lot of cosmetic things and other things going on in here. I'm thinking one other thing I may want to do, just for mostly cosmetic purposes, that I may make this tail go a little further back before it comes up as well, just to offset that maybe a couple blocks that way. But the way it was all set up, I forgot, I also added another round of laser cannons on here. So now it's got 8 laser cannons instead of 4 like it had in this version. I didn't have that lower section there, and I actually kind of like the looks of the newer one better. I was able to separate these excuse me, talking a lot. And I separate these arms a little bit more from the center because there's another block row in the mix here. And that kind of prompted me to put in these extra laser cannons there. But I actually think that actually turned out looking a little bit better than what it did in the first place, and stretching the hull out another it's actually technically about 4 or 5 blocks longer than the previous version. Just kind of made it look a little bit thinner, which is great. You know, it's hard to notice. I mean, if you look at them side by side, you really have to nitpick everything to figure out what looks different on it. But I try to make this one a little bit different in places too. I try to also make it look like these arms or these big pieces here could, like, I don't know, for some reason swivel or connect on kind of the inner platform there. Also got a couple more turrets on here as well. The increased width also allowed for a more usable landing pad. You can take a look at the original version. It was pretty skinny, and you have to kind of fly in and land probably this way, because that's right in your way if you're going to come in from the back, or in the front's not very good either. But no, it's a little bit wider, it's a little bit longer. It's just going to be more accommodating for a little bit larger SVs and things like that. So that's where I'm at right now. But I truly had to gut the entire interior. It was whatever I had going on was pretty much wasted. I try to keep some elements around, but I've already started to start to fit parts again, and I'm still working this out. Some of these are going to move around a little bit more, but I was able to get the right spacing between the thrusters, so now I can put in barrier xenoblock walls so you don't have chain reaction problems and things like that. And I've just generally got quite a bit more space on the inside, which I think will help a lot for my target loadout of like shield parts and things like that. I'm kind of looking to do 6 or 8, probably 8 small shield parts, 6 to 8 medium shield parts, and 3 large shield parts plus fusion reactor, and all the other supporting stuff you need, your warp drive and your main shield and CPU blocks and all that fun stuff. But I think I've got the room I needed, but basically kept the whole thing pretty much looking the same. It's just a little bit wider and a little bit longer, but very hard to notice. So yeah, anyway, I'm back on track with this, so I'm happy with that. I think that'll make the ship a whole lot better, and hopefully be able to achieve the goal of being more of a late game style combat oriented. Still, although it's going to have like a lot of Xeno reinforcement along the front here on the inside, or some, I won't say a lot, but some, it's still going to be very shield dependent. If I want to weigh this thing down a lot, I could try to reinforce all the walls, but then I would run out of room for all the parts again. So it's just not going to be possible to like bury everything under xenoblocks on the inside and still have it work and fly good. In its current thing, obviously it doesn't have the interior in it, but it is, and I'm over the CPU currently too, but it's got a lot of stuff installed on here right now. What was I looking at? Oh yeah, the speeds. The speeds are still really good, even how it's sitting right now. Granted, they're going to all slow down when I start adding all the parts and get the whole interior in place. But yeah, the speeds are pretty stout yet. So I'm fairly happy about that. The roll's not super wonderful, but it's still better than the original variations of it. And I've been going through iteration after iteration after iteration on this thing. It's been a kind of a challenging build to do, but it's pretty fun. Pretty fun. I would tend to try to build more of these kind of exotic, crazy things now. It's challenging. Yeah, it's coming out pretty good right now. So I'll keep on working on it. Hopefully get some done over the weekend, or maybe a lot. Again, it doesn't have a big interior. The hardest part about this build is really just trying to fit all the parts in this amount of space and keep them so you don't chain react everything if you take some hits somewhere. But then again, it is a shield focused creation too. So I mean, maybe on the front side you could take a hit or two or a few hits with the Xeno backing in some of these areas, but beyond that, you really don't want to be fighting something with your shield down on this creation. But it should allow for a decently good sized shield, not like the top of the line. It's not running 8 medium or large shield parts, but 3 is my target goal, and that would be pretty cool. So you could get 1 big charger in, 2 banks was my thinking, to have just a big shield, and then maybe a full barrage of medium and small shield parts. But if I had to skimp on anything, I'd probably remove 2 of the mediums, and run the mediums the same way, where you got 2 chargers, 4 banks, and then run even on the small shield parts. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that, and that is it for the video. This is probably a super long one. Sorry about that. I'm going to try to keep them a little shorter, but man, with so many creations out on the workshop, it is very hard to do because there's so many, and I keep on thinking, well, maybe I can, like what I did. I took this first ship, which was actually from last week that I didn't get to, and then I tried to put it on this week, but then there was all these new creations this week, and there's still more I'd like to look at. There's still more all over the place that I'm just, yeah, can't see them quite all because there's so many. But anyway, awesome work, everybody. Really, really stellar creations again today. Some just wild stuff. Very detailed. A lot of different inspirations and ideas. Love to see it. Anyway, you all have yourself a great day, and I'll talk to you later.